Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson spoke about racism and the Democrats. Let's listen to these two geniuses.
Saw what Ben Stein on Fox News saying he's the most racist president ever. I don't know if I agree with that, but he certainly has race baited and used race more than any president in recent history.
Exactly.
What do you think about Obama?
I have no idea what's in his heart. I have no idea what his true beliefs are, but it's very clear. They've made it as clear as it's ever been in the last 2 weeks that they're willing to use race to divide the country and get out the vote and use racial fears to get their base, out to the polls. And I think it's effective. It works. Fear works. It works for me, by the way. I'm motivated. When I'm afraid, it motivates me. I think human beings are all that way. But in the case of racial division, there's a consequence that lasts far beyond Election Day. If you stoke people up along racial lines, you get ethnic politics. And look around the world. You've traveled. Practically every other country on the planet is divided by ethnic politics. We haven't been historically, but we're moving in that direction. And it's really scary because ethnic politics doesn't go away. There's no doubt that they see immigration as a source of political power. And that's scary. I mean, look, like every American, I grew up on the border like you. I'm kind of pro-immigrant in a lot of ways. A lot of immigrants work hard. I'm totally for it. But massive amounts of low-wage, low-skilled immigration are exactly the opposite of what you want when you've got high unemployment. So they clearly just don't care at all about people who are earning, a wage in the United States. They just don't care at all.
The Democrats don't care about workers' wages. The Republicans do. The Democrats don't care about workers' wages. Is that not the most easily refutable point you've ever heard in your life? 2 words. Minimum wage. Tell me again, Tucker. Tell me again who's not in favor of workers' wages. The Republicans have been blocking it the entire time. All the Democrats want is a living wage. And some of them are even willing to compromise off of that, which I don't agree with, by the way. It should be $12 an hour. But the Democrats are saying, hey, could we just have enough money where if somebody works a full-time job, they survive? That's how much in favor of workers they are. They're saying, hey, if you work a full-time job, you should survive. And the Republicans say, no. But it's the Democrats who are against workers' wages. And also, it's just not true that you have undocumented immigrants are taking away jobs from Americans, because everybody knows the jobs that undocumented immigrants are doing are not the jobs that white people want to do. And that's not just an opinion. That's actually been tested, and it's factual. There was a southern state where they decided one day in a small area, well, let's round up all the immigrants, get them out of here, because they were a super right-wing district. What happened? They ended up wanting them back after a few months because all these agricultural jobs opened up and the white people didn't want to do them. Nobody was applying for them. And the same thing in California. I mean, if you get rid of immigrants around the country, the economy fucking collapses. Are you kidding me? Who's going to do the jobs that, taking home care workers who there's a loophole and they're exempt from the minimum wage so they make less? Who are going to do those jobs? And also, to be clear, I think all these people should get a living wage. I don't even think that's, that's fairly obvious to me. I think everybody who works a full-time job should make a living wage. But the idea that because of immigrants, it's taking jobs away from the American people. No, you know what's taking jobs away from the American people? NAFTA, which you support, Republicans. All the free trade deals. That's what takes away jobs from the American people. But they don't understand these very basic things, and they lash out and make it seem like the Democrats are the embodiment of evil. I mean, it's just a laughable thing to say, yeah, the Democrats don't care about workers' wages, but we do. You care about workers' wages. Then why are you in favor of all the right-to-work laws in all these red states, which it's just a right to work for less because it takes away $1,500 to $4,000 out of the pockets of the workers on average. When they're in a union, they make that much more. When they're not, they make that much less. And these laws basically crush the unions. So you care about workers' wages? Then why did you just take $1,500 to $4,000 out of their pocket? That doesn't seem to make much sense, does it? And then finally, look, he says, well, Dems use race to divide the country and win elections. Again, exactly backwards. Which party was it that there was a news story last week that found that there's a list where 1 in 7 black voters are purged from the voter rolls on this list? Which party was that again? Oh, right, that was the Republicans. The Republicans tried to do that. This didn't get nearly enough press. It deserved way more press. They came up with a list where they said, we're concerned about voter fraud. These people should be purged from the rolls. And 1 out of 7 black people, millions of voters, 1 out of 7 black people were purged. And what argument did they use, by the way? They said, there's a John Smith who voted in Iowa, and there's a John Smith who voted in North Carolina. We guess it was fraud. It had to be the same person. Meanwhile, if you look into it, one's a John C. Smith, the other one is a John L. Smith. They have different social security numbers. It's not the same person, but they go, nope, we needed to purge them just to be safe. It's not just an accident. It's not like they're incompetent. No, they did this on purpose. They're trying to suppress the vote so that Republicans win. The fewer people vote, the more Republicans win. They understand that perfectly well. It's a well-known fact. So, again, every argument he makes is projection because he's describing the Republicans perfectly. He said, well, the Democrats use ethnic politics to win elections. Again, that's what you do. What the Democrats do is they point out facts like, hey, there's still some systemic discrimination and racism in the system. Maybe we should address that. So the Democrats point out facts in an attempt to try to fix the problem. And what do the Republicans say? By pointing it out and trying to fix it, you're making it worse. You're playing ethnic politics by doing that. Okay, so we can never talk about facts and we can never talk about fixing the problems involved with racism and discrimination. Because when we talk about it, now we're making it worse. We're making the problem worse. No, you, by denying the problem, are making it worse.